Okay, we have a special video for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the OP02. I'm going to go over a few of the notable cards that I've been looking at. I'm going to go through what they do, and I'm also going to go through why I think that they're going to be good in the upcoming meta. First off, we have Makino, which is for 1 cost 0 power, activate main. You may rest this character up to one of your red characters that costs 1, gains plus 3,000 power this turn. And it's a 2,000 counter. It's going to be used in the Roronoa Zoro deck. It works really well with Sunny-kun and cards like Nami. It just makes it so that Sunny-kun becomes a 7k for 1, and it also is a 2k counter, so there's almost no downside to that. Then you have the Moby Dick, and this is going to be working with the Whitebeard Pirates, but what it is it's a stage card that costs 2. Your turn, if you have 1 or less life cards, your Edward Newgate and all of your characters with a Whitebeard Pirates gain plus 2,000 power. It triggers to play the card. Then you have Curly Dedan, which is going to be, again, used heavily in Zoro. So Curly Dedan is a 2 cost with 3,000 power. It's a mountain bandit. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 red character that costs 1 or less. Add it to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. It's going to work really well with Sunny-kun, Nami, and things like Otama. Then we have the Masked Deuce, and he is 2 cost, 3,000 power. When you put 2 Dawn on him, when attacking, K up to one of your opponents with a power of 2,000 or less, and he has 2k counter. I think he's going to be really good. The major problem with using him versus Robin is actually searchable with Nami, even though she costs more to play out. And then you have Vista, and Vista is going to probably replace Robin in most circumstances, but he is 3 cost, 3,000 power, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 30,000 power or less, and that's an on-play effect. And then you have 1k counter. These cards are going to be insane with Otama and Round Table, because it makes it so that you can just take out huge threats with Round Table, and you can take out any of the smaller threats running Otama, which is just amazing. So then we have Jozu, and he is 4 cost, 4,000 power. If you put 1 Dawn on him, if you have less than 2 life and your leader has Whitebeard Pirates in its type, this character gains Rush. And he's a 2k counter. So he's 4 for 4k and a 2k counter, but you have to be running a Whitebeard Pirate leader for him to get Rush. I think that's great, you know. The only downside is you have to be running Whitebeard Pirates. It seems like a really powerful card. Then you have Edward Newgate, which he is just the bomb of the whole set at this point. And I'm going to show you guys why if you just listen to his stat line. It's insane. So he's 9 cost, 10,000 power. On play, up to one of your leader gains plus 2,000 until the start of your next turn. Then you cannot add cards from your life area to your hand by your effects during this turn. So it slows down the Whitebeard effect from taking your life, and then it also makes it so that you are harder to kill. Any leader gets harder to kill the turn it comes out. And when attacking, if you have 2 Dawn on him, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 or less power. So he has Robin's ability on a 10k body, just insane. You know, and there's almost no downside to playing him, because when you play him, the next turn, they have to be swinging 7k to even do any damage to you. Now we're going to be moving on to the cards in green that I thought looked really good. Okay, so we have Paradise Totsuka. It's cost 1. It's an event card. A main, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and then trigger KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 3 or less. So resting cards can be really good. It's a 4 cost, it costs 1. It seems like it could be some spicy tech. Then we also have Tony Chopper, which this card is insane. Due to the fact it's 2 cost, 2,000 power, it's ×1 Dawn. When attacking, rest up to one of your characters with a cost of 2 or less, and it's a 2k counter. So what this is going to end up taking is the same spot as Scratchman Apu, because Scratchman Apu's ability almost never comes up. Chopper's ability is going to actually come up, which is really nice for green. The only downside is he is searchable, because Chopper is a Straw Hat. He's not searchable with cards like Jewelry Bonnie, And Scratchman and Apu is searchable with Julie Bonnie. Do I want to have the searchable 2k counter, or do I want to have a 2k counter that can tap chump blockers for when it attacks? And then we have the green Nami, 3 cost, 5,000 power, no counter, on play, or when attacking, if you pay 1 Dawn, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 film type card other than Nami, add it to your hand, then return the remaining cards in the bottom of your deck in any order. So this is just swinging in, and it's getting you advantage. It's also at 5k, so it's going to be getting rid of cards out of their hand and hopefully putting cards in your hand. The only thing is you have to load up your green deck with film cards, which there's not a lot of film cards. Most of them are in the new set. Then we have the new Yamato, 4 cost, 6,000 power. Also treat this card's name as Kozuki Oden according to the rules. On play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. So this is going to be able to rest 6 cost cards. It's going to be really good. You get a 6k body for 4. It doesn't have any counter, but with an ability like that, I don't think it really needs it. So then we have Kozuki Oden. Costs 8. He has 8k power. Activate main once per turn. If you pay 3, switch this character to active. So he has a kid effect where he gets to switch himself to active on an 8k body without even having to discard a card. That is nuts. And then when he dies, on KO, play up to 1 cost 3 green Wano country type character card from your deck, then shuffle your deck. Even if they end up killing your Kozuki Oden, you get to pull out usually an Okiku for free. So even if they kill him, you get an Okiku on the board, which just makes it so that you're getting value on value, and it's going to be swinging twice, which is just nuts. So now we're going to be moving on to the purple cards. So you have Judgment of Hell. It's a purple event. It costs 2. Dawn -1. Up to 2 of your opponent's leader or characters get minus 2,000 power this turn. Trigger, if your opponent has 6 or more Dawn, your opponent returns 1 of their Dawn to their Dawn deck. That unramps them, but what I'm going to be talking about mostly is the main effect, which the -1 Dawn and 2 opponent's characters get minus 3,000 power. That makes it so that you have prime targets and Eustace Captain Kidd, so they can't swing twice with them. And then the other thing that you can use it for is a Kozuki Oden, so that when they're swinging twice, they're only swinging twice for 5k with the Kozuki Oden, which is going to be a huge benefit to you. And then we have the Sati. It's a purple character, costs 3. It has 3,000 power. On play, play up to 1 character card with the Jailer Beast type from your hand, and it's a 2k counter. So this card looks really good because both of the Jailer Beasts look like a good low end, and even if you have to play the Jailer Beast for 4, it's not too bad. Having the opportunity where sometimes you get 7 cost on the board and 8k of power on the board for 3, I think it's going to be nuts. Now I'm going to go into the 2 Jailer Beasts, which is Minnow Koala. 4 cost, 5,000 power, Impel Down, Jailer Beast. Blocker, on KO, if your leader has Impel Down as a type, add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So why this is good is because it's a blocker, and it costs 4, and sometimes you're going to be able to play it with Sati. And then you also have Minotaur, which is a 4 cost, 5k, Impel Down, Jailer Beast, and it has double attack, and so it means that it does deal 2 damage. On KO, if your leader has the Impel Down type, add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. So if it KOs, it ramps you if you're using something with Impel Down. Most of the time, it's just going to be an efficient card with double attack that you're playing in conjunction with Sati. So then we have Douglas Bullet, which is a purple character. He's cost 5, 6k power. He's film, -1 Dawn, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and he's a 1k counter. So resting characters is good. It's on place. You only get to do it once. So then we have Uta, one of the secret rares. She is 8 cost, 8k power, -2 Dawn. Your leader and all your characters gain plus 1,000 power until the start of your next turn. So for -2 Dawn, you're putting ideally 6k power on the board. It's good. She's 8k. The nice thing too is the last 2 cards are searchable with Bane of Festa. He's just a good card. 1 for a 2k counter, and then he's a searcher. Yep. No, nothing nothing bad there. So now what I'm going to be talking about, the blue card that caught my eye. So the first one is an event card. It's Gum Gum Rain. It costs 0, and that's one of the reasons why I think this is an interesting card, is you may trash one card from your hand up to one of your characters or leader, get plus 3,000 power for this battle, and then trigger return up to one character that costs a 2 or less to their owner's hand. So the fact that it costs 0 is really cool. That's a really powerful effect. It's going to make it so that people actually have to do more math if you're going to be using this card, which them having a unexpected 3,000 counter can, it can win you the game, or it can save your characters that are going to win you the game. So then we have Don Quixote do Flamingo. So he costs 1, he's a 2,000 power. And then on play, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, return them to the top or bottom in any order, and then if you put a Don on him, when attacking, trash 1 card from your hand, return up to one of your opponent's 1 cost or lower characters to the bottom of the deck. He's putting any of the efficient searchers, and then he's also getting rid of pesky blockers if that's what you want to do with him, and if not, he's just on the board and he already did the thing. So he's kind of like a Corona Plus, except for he's not looking at the top 5. Now I'm going to show you guys the Deathwink. This is a blue event card. It costs 3, counter up to one of your leader or character gains 6,000 power during this battle, then draw until you have 2 cards in your hand, trigger, return up to 1 7 cost or lower character to its owner's hand. So the trigger's really good on this, giving 6k powers, nothing to scoff at, and it also draws you cards if you're down to 0, so if it's the last thing that you're playing, it's super good. Generally pretty good. The cost 3 is a little rough, but all in all, I think it's a great card. So then you have Monkey D. Luffy. Cost 6, 7k power. On play, when attacking, you may trash 2 cards from your hand, return up to 1 cost 4 or lower character to its owner's hand. Then this character gains double attack during this turn. If you trash 2 cards, you can return something to their hand, and he gets double attack. So that's really good. That's going to be winning the game for you, hitting really hard, getting 2 life. Then you have Emporio Ivankov. Cost 7, power 7k. On play, draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. Play up to 1 cost 6 or lower blue impel down type character card from your hand. The fact that you get to draw 3 cards off of Imperial Ivankov, and you get to play a 6 power or lower. So the best case scenario in that, I guess, is getting like a Luffy or something right now. Even just playing Boa Hancock or something, that's like a great interaction for you. So now we're going to be moving on to black. And then we have Tutsuru, 1 cost, 0 power. On play, reduced by 2 the cost of up to one of your opponent's characters during this turn, and it has a 2k counter. The thing that I have to say about black is their 2k counters are stacked. It's really good. I've been looking at them, and I was like, why are all their 2k counters cards you're happy to play? So then you have Sengoku. Cost 2, power 3,000, times 1 Dawn. When attacking, give up to one of your characters minus 2 cost during this turn, and he's a 2k counter. How black works is you minus character's cost, and then you kill the character based around the lower cost. So that's really good. So then you have Monkey D. Garp. He costs 2, he's 3,000 power. He's a striker. If you put 2 Dawn on him, when attacking, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 0. And he's a 2k counter. Those are the 2k counters that I was looking at. I didn't actually use the Navy deck. Once I get one, I'm going to do an opening of it and then go through it for you guys and tell you what I think's good, what I think's bad, all that fun stuff. And then we're going to move on to Isuka, which is one of the cards that I'm most excited about in black, because I was reading through everything and I was like, this is insane. 3 cost, 4k power, times 1 Dawn. Once per turn, when this character battles and KOs your opponent's character, set this character as active, and it has a 1k count. Anyone who's watched this channel for any amount of time knows how I feel about Hawkins. And the fact that this has counter on it, it comes out a turn earlier, and it does a watered down version of what Hawkins does, because what Hawkins does is he untaps no matter what. If he battled a character, he just unrests. And then with this card, it does have to KO it, which is a huge ask, because if they just protect their card, then Isuka is vulnerable. That being said, it also has 1k counter. It comes out a turn earlier. It's 4k power. It's just an insane card. Really good. I think it's going to be nuts just because being able to do that a turn earlier, have a card on the board that you are just doing board control with, is insane. Okay, so now we have Borsalino. He's 4 cost, 5k power. Opponent's turn. This character can't be KO'd by effects and it gains 1000 power, and it's a blocker and it has 1k counter. Just that stat line's amazing. The fact that they can't use effects to kill it, so they have to actually swing into it, and you get to choose whether or not you want to block with it. So I am thrilled by this card. It's super good. So then we have the Little Kuzan. 4k, 5k power. On play, draw 1 card. Replaces himself. Already amazing. When attacking, reduce the cost of up to one of your opponent's characters by 4 during this turn. So that works really well with things like Garp. So he's a great card. I think he's going to be a great addition to any black deck, mostly due to the fact he replaces himself. So you drop him, you got a card. Feels good. And then you have Big Kuzan, which costs 10k power. Your turn, all of your opponent's characters lose 5 cost. On play, KO up to one of your opponent's cost 0 characters. So with this, you can swing. If you have Kuzan, the Little Kuzan, you can swing, and then you can -4 Whitebeard, and then you can play your Kuzan, and then you can just kill Whitebeard without a hitch. So being able to kill any of the huge cost stuff is amazing. So I'm really excited about all these cards. Let me know what are some of your favorites in the comments if you'd like to. All right, so I got a little thing for you guys. I've been going to my locals, so what I'm going to be doing is showing you guys what I pulled this time. So we got the promo of the day. Let's check this out. The promo of the video, because I've been going to locals and getting promos, so I want to open them for you guys to see it too, because I think it's an exciting way to end the video, you know. Okay, so I don't know what I have. You guys are going to see the same time as me. Let's check this out, and boom, we got the promo Yamato. Not what you want to see, but, you know, I'll take it. That's fine. I actually did Trash Tuesday on this, so if you want to see my extended thoughts about this card, you might as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much, and don't forget to, if you like the video, like it, and if you could subscribe, I definitely appreciate it, and be sure to have a wonderful day. Jank.